Standard Liege are one of the biggest clubs in Belgian footballing history, lifting 10 Pro League trophies, most recently in 2014. But since then, it has been a downhill climb, and as far as 2022, they finished in 14th place. Last season, a recovery up to 6th, but this season, again, back down to 10th. So today, we're looking to rebuild them, but not into Belgian League champions, into much more than that. Champions League winners using Moneyball. And I've got to say, this season has been very poor. Football Manager predicts them to come in 5th place for the 23-24 season, and when I look at their team, I completely understand why. There's some big names in here like Musa Gineppo. We've got some fantastic defenders like Van Housen in on loan. Sawawa is one of their best wingers at the club, as is Yaboa. Jonathan Panzo's here. Stephen Alazate, a fantastic midfielder for Brighton. A brilliant cam in Isaac Price. There is a lot of quality in this side, but real life, it's not ticking, and they are down in 10th place. I'll hold my hands up. I don't really know how things have gone this bad in real life, but obviously, it's been since 2014. They have not won the Belgian Pro League, so we're going to look to change that around pretty quickly, but also lift some European trophies along the way as well. We are not stopping this rebuild until we win the Champions League. Now, one of the difficult things here at Liege is their debt. They are in £45 million worth of net debt, and if you've never managed in a club like Belgium, or in a nation like Belgium, that is not going to be easy to clear in the slightest. We have got some ridiculous, simply ridiculous wages here at the club. Stephen Azate, 25,000. Stipe Porica, 20. Musa Gineppo, 20. There's a bunch on positive 10,000, and I'm looking to change that as soon as I can with the transfers, because that is way too much money. If you actually look at our wage budget, it is a wage budget of 218,000. I've listed off 5 or 6 players there, which pretty much reach £120,000 already, so that needs to be sorted out ASAP. So this rebuild is going to be very difficult. Not only are we looking to build a super team and win Champions League, but first of all, we've got to get them back to champions of their nation, back into actually fixing their financial situation, and then be able to rebuild them. Luckily here at Standard Liege, they have got a fantastic youth system with 4.5-star youth facilities, 4-star youth recruitment, and I mean, already littered throughout the under-18s and the second club in SLL 16. There is some superstar wonder kids here, Sony with 5-star potential already that I'm sure we will see progress into the squad throughout this rebuild. So without further ado, let's get into season number 1. This squad is very strong. I think we should be in that championship group, and who knows what we could do from there. Well, first of all, we actually have a Crocky Cup final, which is the cup competition here in Belgium, and Musa Gineppo gets us off to a brilliant start, 1-0 up in 6.5 minutes, which is brilliant, and we're up against KRC Game today, who are another dominating side here in Belgium. Federa gets them back to 1-1 on level peggings, but in the 63rd minute, we finish this game off with a 2-1 victory, a goal from Sawa at the edge of the box. And well, it wasn't the only trophy we won this season. We absolutely dominated the Belgian League in season number 1, and as mentioned, this team is very strong. But do not click off the video just yet, because there is a lot to explain on how this season went so well. So first of all, we were champions overall, 19 wins, 6 draws and 5 losses. A very good season. We won the championship group as well, because sort of about 3/4 of the way through the Belgian season, they split into a championship group, second phase and relegation group. So we ended up doing very well and winning the championship group, which does mean Champions League football next year, which is fantastic. But before I go into the squad, we're in a bit of a pickle. £200,000 in debt on the wage budget. Now, I haven't given out a single contract. It just looks like all of these big name players' wage have caught up on us. We are in the absolute bin. Now, of course, we have some players here that are here on wage, like Kamal Sawa, who was fantastic last season. 15 goals, 14 assists. We're paying him 17 grand, so he's out the door. Stephen Azate, who played 37 games, got a 7 average rating, which is brilliant. He's on 25,000. He's got to believe in it. Musa Gineppo, a fantastic winger. He's on 20k. Stipe Porica played 1 game all season on £20,000 in wage budget. As we look through the squad and look at the players that performed at a particularly good level, if we actually just go through the appearances list and look down the wages, there is only one player in Suleiman Doumbia under £10,000, and he's going to be wanting a brand new contract pretty quickly. We go down here, 5 or 6 players. We have someone on 2k, someone on 1.3, and again, the wage budget is just absolutely in the mud, to the point where even a loanee here on £14,000 a week played 4 games. We are financially in the absolute bin. Debts-wise, up to £52 million. things are not looking good here at Standard Liege. We have got a summer clear out on the way. Now, of course, we had a very good season. Loney, Kelvin Yeboah, who we actually played none of his wages, scored 32 goals and got 5 assists. So I'm going to be attempting to try and bring him back. But with a value like that, I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything, because we're £200,000 a week in wage in debt. So offering players contracts is going to be 50 quid. I don't think he's going to come in at 50 quid a week. Kemal Soa was brilliant. Moussa Djenepo was brilliant. Isaac Price was absolutely fantastic. This guy's a little bit of a hidden wonder kid. He's actually joined here this current season from Everton, and he's absolutely brilliant. 7 caps for Northern Ireland already. So well-rounded, and pretty much every single stat is above the blue. And the ones that aren't, tackling, long throws, and corners, are all 10 plus. Fantastically well-rounded. Be great as a central midfielder on support or on attack, but we're obviously using him in this central attack midfielder role. We might have to cash in for 8.8 million. We shall see, but he has been an absolutely revolutionary player this season. William Balakisha, also absolutely fantastic. Bacardi is on 6.5k. I don't think we have to offer him a new contract, and that's the biggest thing, is because we can't offer these contracts. The players who have been very good this season, like Bacardi, like our centre-back Latifis, who's on 9k a week, played 23 games, is a 3-star average player. We simply can't offer them contracts because we have £200,000 negative in wage budget. So we're going to get absolutely torn apart, which is not ideal in the slightest. But obviously, we are going to be using the Moneyball search parameters and the Moneyball filters as well, which are all downloadable from the Moneyball scouting video that is on the channel. I won't be putting a link anywhere. Just head over to the channel, check out, search Moneyball on FM24 if you've got to. You'll see my face. You'll see me looking very happy, because Moneyball is absolutely fantastic. And this is like our 8th or 9th Moneyball rebuild. So if you are enjoying, make sure you are smashing the like button. We've got loads of players being scouted. I just don't know if we're going to be able to sign any. So it's going to be a very, very interesting summer as we look to rip up this squad. We've just won everything in Belgium, which is good. You know, while we had the money, we've done very well. But we need to now sell everyone, start again, and rebuild Standard Liege properly. So that is exactly what we've done, selling over £30 million of players. First up is Moussa Djenepo leaving off to Al Nassr in Saudi. Marlon Fossey, who is a fantastic young right back, has left to Wolves for £9 million. Dennis Dragus, who is a fantastic cam, left winger or striker, has also gone to Al Nassr. One thing I want to say, Moussa Djenepo's on 230k. Dennis has gone there on 13. And finally, Arnaud Bodar, our fantastic goalkeeper, has left to FC Twente. This guy last season was absolutely brilliant with 10 clean sheets. We raised £1.4 million for him simply because we needed the money. And we did reinvest some of it, £6.5 million overall. But I'm not sure if we've got as good of a team, because obviously all of our fantastic loans have also left. So it was just 4 signings coming into the club. And number 1 is Hakon Evgen for £3.5 million, signed from Bodo Glimt. Last season was absolutely brilliant with a 7.1 average rating. Season before that, just below on a 6.9. So since moving to Bodo, it has been brilliant. They signed for 2.1, £1.4 million more, and he is now here. He is a leading Pro League player with fantastic dribbling attributes, decent enough speed, and great determination as well. And he's just 24 years of age, and obviously value-wise, there's some serious upside. So maybe someone will look to sell for profit in the future, but a brilliant signing. Joel Allenson also comes in and joins the club. Now, this cost us £1 million, but we lost pretty much anyone that was good in central defensive midfielder, whether that was loans or sales. So Joel has left the club, which is a little bit of a shame. Oh, sorry, joined the club, which is a little bit of a shame because he's not fantastic. He's not exactly quick. He's not great on the ball, but he was the best out of a bad bunch that fit the Moneyball criteria. He had a 7.13 last season at Holmstads over in Sweden. Hopefully that can sort of come to this division as well. Andrija Radulovic is a signing I seem to look at all the time. This guy can play left side or right side, or even if we need him to, at left back. He's consistent, loves big matches, 22 years of age, and cost us just £1 million. And finally, YESSSSS, 22 years of age, a Gambian international, signed from IFK Norrköping over in Sweden. This guy's a 3.5-star player already, is consistent, doesn't like big matches, but I'm not sure we're going to have many of them this season because the squad has dropped off quite a fair bit, and I've had to bring in some wonder kids from the academy as well just to make up numbers. So in goal is Haiknyet, who I believe was our backup goalkeeper last season. De Wael is our right back with Ngoy, who is a fantastic wonder kid here at Standard Liege, coming in at centre back. He is unhappy, he wants to move to a bigger squad. I've offered him out 15 times to see if anyone comes in and bids, and they bid like £3 million. his value's 90 million. There's no point in me selling him. Daikonix, who is another absolute youngster, is in as our other centre-back with Dumbia at left-back. Osman is a 1.5-star CDM who's 16 years of age. Comes in as a starting DM next to Cisse. Evgen at right back, Isaac Price in cam, Radulovic at left back, and Noah Ohio, another wonder kid through the academy, is here up front. This guy is very, very fast. I'm hoping in this system he's going to be brilliant. And there's just more wonder kids littered throughout. Apollo Oliver, Lucas Nubi, and Carrera Rocha are two fantastic wonder kid centre backs as well. Shadron, Mateta Papa, Allenson, De Cruz, Makembo, and Temo, who we have seen in the rebuild previously. Sihan Sinak and Nganzi are all here as our backups. But the exciting thing is when we saw this by potential, there is some great potential here at the club. The youth facilities last season pulled out some absolute bangers, so hopefully they can progress well. Our backup left back's brilliant. Our backup winger and Lucas de la Cruz is fantastic. Osman, who has been shoved into the team, has unbelievable potential. And Noah Nkembo and Temo is always lights out good on this game and turns into a superstar. So hopefully we get that version here as well. Hugo Correa Rocha, Rabbi Matemba and Pepper, Johan Nganzi, Sanak, Nubi, Ohio, and Nathan Ngoy are all 5-star plus potential players. So there is a lot of potential with this club. But for this season, it's going to be difficult to, number one, not lose every single game of the Champions League. Number two, retain our Belgian Crocky Cup. And number three, lift this title again, because we are now 7th favourites. But luckily, the finances are looking better. £90 million in the bank and only £13 million in net debt. So we've done a good thing overall with the squad and clearing everything out. You can see the wage budget got halved down to £126,000. So that is pretty much why we can't sign anyone else. I've got no money in the wage budget. I've still got £1 million left in transfer budget, but I mean, there's no point in me trying to sign anyone. So that's that in terms of the team. Let's get into season 2. Right, let's get this one out of the way. The Champions League this season was always going to be extremely difficult because everyone's left us. So we finished in 33rd. We got one win against Tavernier Silvestre, who become lower than us on the minus 18 goal difference. We got a draw against Frankfurt, who actually did qualify, which is great. But 6 losses. 4-0 against United, 4-0 against Barcelona. We lost to Shakhtar by Leverkusen, 2-1 against City, and 2-1 against Young Boys isn't bad. But yeah, we were never going to do well here. We had to basically perform open heart surgery to make sure we weren't going to fold as a club. So we've had our season in the Champions League, a nice bit of money in the bank. If we actually check out the finances, we're up to £43 million and cleared the debt. It's amazing what the Champions League can do as a club. I don't know how we've got here, but it's worked out quite well. And our retention of the Crocky Cup actually went a little bit better than expected. We got all the way to the 8th round, which is okay. It's just before the quarterfinals, so not too bad. We got knocked out on penalties by Royal Franks Boran, who are in the 2nd division, and they come 8th. So a little bit gutting to lose to them, but overall not a bad season. And all things considered in the Pro League as well, considering we have just performed complete open surgery. 2nd place overall in terms of points on 64. When it comes down to the Championship group, we lost to a lot of the big teams and do come down in 3rd. Antwerp are champions, even though in the league table, they were like 16 points away from us and we're absolutely rubbish. But in the big games in the Championship group, they absolutely smashed it. In the Championship group, you start with 50% of your points from the main league and then play against all the big teams only for like 10 games, I believe. If we check out the schedule, 10 games, you play both the teams twice. And you can see here against the bigger teams, we did get battered and eventually obviously come down in 3rd place. But it does mean the Europa League, which is maybe a little bit better for our squad. And in terms of development as well, I think we've progressed very, very well. If we check out how the players actually done on the pitch in terms of average rating wise, players that played, Isaac Price, a 7.2, 14 goals, 11 assists, now a value of 34 million. I'm going to be trying to cash in over there, that's for sure. Tom Glicenti, when he played in his 11 games and 8 of the bench, was absolutely brilliant as well. Same for Thiago Paul da Silva, 11 games, 7.08. Suleiman Doumbia, who was our starting left-back, 37 games and 11 assists. Jesper Sesse, our signing the Gambian central defensive midfielder, 7.03. In terms of average rating, 7 goals and 5 assists. Remember, was a bargain of 975k. Now value of 6.8. Hakon Evgen as well, a 7.01. So all of our signings pretty much coming up clutch and doing bits. Gilles Devale, the 29-year-old right back with 8 assists, just a 7 average rating as well. Allenson, the 31-year-old, I signed, 6.97, 40 games. Props to Joel Allison, he was brilliant. Radulovic got 10 goals and 8 assists. And in terms of our top goal scorers this season, Noah Ohio, the wonder kid man with superior in terms of pace, was absolutely fantastic. 22 goals and an assist. Decent value on him now as well. If we do get any offers, he will be leaving the club. Stipe Baricha, we just couldn't sell last season, so we're still trying to sell him. He played 5 games, got 6 goals. For the life of us, we could not get him out of the door. But given the open heart surgery we've just done, you'd think we'd have loads of money, especially what's in the bank. No. Turns out the board are quite scared of getting stung again. So £1 million in transfer budget and £38,000 in the negative in wage budget. So sales are going to be needed to get us some money. We have got 35% of our transfer revenue. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be very, very difficult. Let's see what we can do in terms of raising some money. Let's see if we can bring in anyone to improve the squad. Genuinely, though, I do think the squad is at a very good level. A new goalkeeper is needed due to his age and right back. But other than that, we've got a whole host of wonder kids that are ready to step in to the squad. And as mentioned, the wonder kid farm here in Belgium is simply brilliant. They are just progressing and giving us players like it's absolutely nothing. I mean, they're all just absolutely fantastic. Colin Chassang is a great striker with great finishing, composure and pace at 16 years of age. So we should be okay. Let's get into Season 3's transfers. Well, it was another season of sell to buy. So Isaac Price has left the club and gone and joined Middlesbrough in the Premier League for £12.75 million, which is quite good. He signed him for 400k a couple of seasons ago. That was actually a real life signing. He has been absolutely brilliant. If you're looking for a young wonder kid to progress into a superstar midfielder, Isaac Price could be your guy. Absolutely fantastic. Sadly, Nathan Ngoy has also left us to join FC Utrecht over in the Netherlands. This one was £9.5 million raised, and again, a wonder kid who has been fantastic for us in the last couple of seasons. And finally is Hayal Kawabe has left the club to join Levante. Last season, we loaned him out to Sturm Graz, who paid his full wages because we couldn't sell him, and this season, £8.5 million raised, just over £30 million overall throughout them free sales. So some decent money coming in. But who did we sign? Well, again, a fairly humble summer with just 5 signings coming in. Number 1 being Heriberto Jurado, a Mexican winger signed from Nexakia, has got incredible speed, incredible dribbling, and obviously is fantastic. Sheikh Koundé cost us just £4 million, signed from Zurich. He's a 24-year-old Guinean international who is extremely consistent and a ball-winning midfielder as well, so a proper DM. And then for £4.7 million, we signed Samin Bazdar from Partizan. This guy was brilliant in our Partizan Rebuild, which is, if you haven't seen yet, was absolutely fantastic. Make sure to check down the channel. He is an absolute superstar, can play cam or striker, and will score lots of goals. Jacob Widel Zederstrom is our cheap bargain wonder kid goalkeeper. I say wonder kid, he's 27 years of age, but he is the new Swedish number 1. He has got fantastic area reach and jumping reach. He is 6'6", consistent. £1 million is all he cost us, and he's a 3.5-star goalkeeper. In the last couple of seasons, he has been outrageously good, and at the middle of this season, 7 goals conceded in 12 appearances, a 7.15. I'm very excited to have a brilliant goalkeeper back at the club. And finally is a free agent signing in Luka Beljovic, signed from Spartak over in Serbia. A free agent signing which is an absolute no-brainer. He was released as they couldn't pay his wages. We've got him for £11,000. He's got a value of £11 to £13 million. And again, for free. And of course, he slots into this team as well in that right wing position, as does Vidal Zetstrom in goal, Diwali at right back with Correra Rocha and Nubi as our 2 centre backs, with Dumbia at left back, Koundé and Sese in CDM, with Beljovic, Gerardo, Evgen and Bazdar as our front 4. A very good, strong squad. And the best thing about it as well, we have now sort of sorted out the age issues at the squad as well. We've got Diwali, who's 29, Zestrom, who's 27, and then it goes to 25 and 24. And then the bench is just full of pretty much under 21 wonder kids with 5-star potential. Like I've said, standard of the age, they're known for producing wonder kids, and that's exactly what they do here on FM as well. So hopefully we can turn this team into Belgian champions yet again. But first off, it was time to win our Crocky Cup yet again. Well, at least that's what I hoped, because Anderlecht got off to a fantastic start, being 1-0 leaders after 25 minutes, for a great ball through to Saman Bastar, made it 1-1. The game went to extra time. In fact, it went to the 123rd minute of extra time. Well, sadly, a goal from Kalulu meant Anderlecht were winners. But when it comes to the championship group, they finished 2 points behind us as we win the Belgian Cup, well, the Belgium trophy again. And I see this as my first actual win of the trophy. As the 23-24 season, we always simulate doing absolutely nothing, just plug in a tactic in and see what the team can do. They won that. We have done open heart surgery on that team. We have raised all of the money to clear all of the debt, rebuilt a squad in 3 years using Moneyball, because if I show you the transfer history, £45 million sold there, 15 in, 30 there, 6.5 in, and nothing the season before. So using Moneyball, we have open heart surgery this standard team, turned them into Belgium champions. If we check out the league table, we actually finished down in 4th place, but when it matters in that championship group, we won it all on 50 points, which is fantastic. And Samad Basdar in his first season comes in as the top goal scorer in the league. Tom Glicenti as best average rating, with Suleiman Doumbia in 2nd place there as well, which is absolutely brilliant. In terms of player of the matches, Noah Makembo in Temo has come into the squad, and he is quite good. 45 games, 18 goals, 11 assists. And when you look at this guy's stats, you're thinking he's very, very average. That's exactly what I think. But if he's dropping 7.28 every single season, we can't get him out of the squad. He's got a value of next to nothing. He's got a wage of next to nothing. He does want a new contract because he wants some more money. So I'm sure we can do that for him. Apparently he's inconsistent. This sort of form shows me completely otherwise. This is one of them players which in the match engine just perform incredibly well. And hopefully we can keep Noah for as long as possible, because not many teams are going to come in for him because he's got a poor reputation. But if he's going to score us 18 goals a season, Noah will be an absolute superstar. And of course, he wasn't our top goal scorer this season because Samad Basdar come in at number 1 with 23 goals and 1 assist. Andrija Radulovic, our first season signing for £1 million, scored 11 goals and got 4 assists as well. Luka Bajanovic as a free agent was absolutely brilliant. Hervito Gerardo was decent, 8 goals and 9 assists, cost us £6 million, and I'd expect a little bit more, so maybe he's not going to be the superstar we hope, but still very, very good. Nico Gilson was a wonderkid striker that's come through, 9 games, 5 goals and an assist. Shiet Conde was great. Gilles Devali with some great assists. Suleiman Doumbia, another 15 assists this season as well. And in terms of average rating, the number 1 was Suleiman Doumbia, 7.35. Again, if you're looking for a left back that's incredibly cheap in your saves, Suleiman Doumbia could be your guy. We obviously got the Europa League to talk about as well. We'll get there. And the reason I say that is because it wasn't maybe quite as good as I hoped. We got absolutely destroyed in the Champions League, but I feel like we, really improved as a squad this season. We did win 4 games against AZ Astana, Vojvodina and CSK Sofia. We drew to Sporting, but lost to United, Copenhagen and Lyon, which aren't the worst losses. We did go through into the knockout playoff run. We faced up against Lyon and we won 5-4 on aggregate, which is a very convincing victory. We go into the round of 16. We faced up against Mallorca and won 3-2. But we go into the quarterfinals, and that's where it became all unraveled. We lost to Real San Sebastian 5-1 on aggregate and was quite disappointing. I thought we had a good chance of winning this one. The Europa League is a competition which I'd like to try and tick off at some point. But now we're sort of this dominant side. I can't see us dropping out of this top 2 at any point throughout the rest of the rebuild because our squad is so young. If we sort this by age, wherever it may be, we've got just such a young squad full of incredible wonder kids, with only one person at 30 years of age, one at 29, one at 27. The rest is all under 25. So I can't really see us falling out of that top 2 position anytime soon. So the Europa League might not come to standard, which is a shame because I'd like to win it, and it's going to take us quite a while to win the Champions League. So probably no European trophy for us for quite a few seasons. In terms of finances, we're looking great. £66 million in the bank. All the debt is now gone, and the board have been very, very nice to us. £35 million in transfer budget, £300,000 in wage budget, and as mentioned, that's because our transfer history has been so good. A 20 million profit in that season and a 30 million profit in this season. They have decided to trust me as gaffer and let me rebuild this club. And of course, we're going to do that in the only way I know how, using Moneyball. So selling someone at 29 years of age like Suleiman Doumbia is pretty much what we're going to do, because his value from now on is going to decrease. We did raise £6 million for him, which I think is quite good, considering his stats aren't actually fantastic as well. Like I said, in the match engine, simply fantastic, very consistent, love big matches, but we'll take the money for him. And the exact same goes for Gilas Deval as well, where he has left to Olympiacos, a value of 80k to 2.9 million pounds. We raised 1.8, which I think is very, very good. And last season, he actually dipped below the 7 average rating. So this was the season to sell, and he is now gone. But it's now time to see who we can get in. Well, of course, we're not going to go absolutely crazy because we are using Moneyball. So our most expensive signing was £6 million in Archie Brown, signed from AA Ghent. He is an English centre-back / left-back who come through the West Brom Academy, moving to Derby. He went over to Switzerland at Lausanne and was fantastic for his time for Ghent. Again, has been brilliant in this rebuild and now signs for us for 5.25 million. Incredibly quick, great jump and reach, great heading, 6'3" and consistent. I've never seen him, I've never heard of him, but Archie Brown looks fantastic. As does Gerson Raksaki. Now, this guy's been a wonder kid through the Chelsea Academy, ends up moving to Crystal Palace, and is one of them players on the complete fringe of Crystal Palace. Will he make it? Will he not? Well, in this rebuild, he has not made it, and has ended up being released. He's got a value of £7.8 million. The same released, he was actually sold to us for £5.25 million after having a great season at Watford of over a 7 average rating in the Championship, which is good enough for me. It's the hardest league in the world to get out of, and Gerson Raksaki has proved that he can do it on the top stage. Great pace, great dribbling, great flair. Again, 5'10", consistent, likes big matches, a huge fan of this one. And the same goes for Erik Botheim as well, a 26-year-old striker who scores goals for fun over at Malmo in Sweden. He is an absolute goal scorer, consistent, and loves big matches. Alexander Stiljanov comes in as well as our attacking new right back to replace Deval, 25 years of age, consistent, and likes big matches. I think what you can see here as well is that I'm going for players that aren't 18, 19, because we've already got so many of them through the academy. We need to bring in that experience to, really build a squad. Who said it once? You don't win anything with kids, and we are doing that here. We are buying players that are a bit more experienced, that bring that, match sharpness and game-ready attitude to come in here and take us to the Champions League. And keeping on that, our final signing is Andre Bowman, a 24-year-old right back / central midfielder who is coming in to back up Silenovic at right back. He's consistent, very, very good, and looks fantastic. And even with that £35 million transfer budget and raising £7.5 million, we only signed £19 million over players because I'm not going to go mental. We're not at that stage yet where I need to think, right, let's go for it. I do that once every single time we do Moneyball. I can tell when we are at a point where a few sprinkled in stars gets us a Champions League trophy. We're not there just yet. So we're going to take things easy and ease ourselves back into the Champions League. And that's with this squad as well. With Zestrom in goal, Bowman, Correa Rocha, Nubi and Brown, Conte and Sese, Raksaki, Corrado, Makembo and Tamo, and Botheim. And again, the bench is full of wonder kids that are rising through the academy. Samad Bastar is here as well. I imagine he'll start over Botheim, to be honest, as our striker. And Siljanov is probably going to start over Bowman as well. But we are building a very strong squad. We are, of course, probably now favourites for the Juniper Pro League. I'd be surprised if we weren't. We're actually not. We're down in 5th at 12-1. So Lord knows who is doing this. Hwang Hee Chan is here, which is quite impressive. And it seems like Anderlecht have got a very good squad. But they're no match for Standard Liege. It's time to get back that Crocky Cup as well. The Champions League would be nice to win. We have already played it in the Belgium Super Cup, and we ended up losing on penalties to Anderlecht. So they have got one over us already. But our main competition here is to get out of the league phase in the Champions League and win the league again. Well, maybe the Crocky Cup will never come back to Standard, as we got knocked out in the 8th round yet again. This time to KRC Genk, who went on to win the whole thing, beating Charleroi on 3-1. Of course, we were absolutely dominant in the league again, as over a full season, there isn't any team that is better than us. So 53 points and a 53 goal difference, absolutely dominant, with Archie Brown and Makembo and Tamo at the top of the average rating list. Archie Brown, a 7.52. But it was the same story as last time in the Champions League. In fact, the exact same. One victory over Ludogorets, 3 draws against Dortmund, Salzburg and Benfica, but 4 losses to PSG, Lyon, Leipzig and Galatasaray. And we're on 6 points again with a negative 10 goal difference and knocked out in 32nd place. So while we can dominate Belgium, Europe has been very, very tough. And when we look at this competition screen, things look great. We win the league. They don't even look that good. We won the league. That's about it. I'm disappointed. I'd like to just get out of this league phase. This new league phase system is very hard for a smaller team to get out of. Give me the group stages back where I've got to face up against a couple of teams a couple of times and we can actually beat them, because this is too tough. In terms of our squads, I mean, it's very good. We're scoring lots of gold through Samed Basdar, Eric Botheim, Noah Makembo and Tamo. Archie Brown with 13 assists and 8 goals overall. Gerardo 7 and 15, looking good, but it might be time to cash in, and that's probably the case on a few of these players as well. YESSSSS, another great season, a 7.07, but his value is now up at £16 million. Gerardo, not the greatest of seasons, value of £28 million. And Samed Basdar, even though he scored 20 goals and 28, only a 6.94 and a value of 27 million. So maybe some players to cash in on. As we actually look through the squad and who has progressed into being starters here, Hugo Correa Rocha and Lucas Nubi are both from the academy. So is Noah Makembo and Tamo. On the bench, Hamdi Razik is our backup goalkeeper. Brandon Hurkade, Adrian Mansala, Alexandre Shaideron, Rabi Montemba and Pepper, Jerry Veach, and Lucas De La Cruz and Nico Gilson are all through the Standard Academy. So if you're looking to look at a Belgian Builder Nation or to do a youth-only save, I couldn't recommend Standard Liege enough. The club info screen is fantastic. They're great at recruiting players, and you can really build a superstar team full of wonder kids within a couple of seasons. I mean, even here, we've got Omer Ozkez, who's a 5-star left-back from Turkey with 20 aggression and 16 stamina and 6'3", and Angano Villajlali, who's 15 years of age, and already looks absolutely brilliant. Already 2-star, great speed, great crossing, decent determination as well, both footed. They really do produce some talent. Let's get into Season 5 though, as Season 4, a little bit of a write-off. But one thing that did happen last season was that Jacob Vidal-Zetterdom's release clause was met in January. He left to Al Sadd for 13.75 million and is on 100k a week. I'm not even going to blame that on anything either, because we still won the league. Maybe he would have helped us in the Crockett Cup. But overall, a fantastic signing. Signed for £1 million within 2 seasons, goes off to Qatar and earns himself 100 grand a week. You're welcome, Jacob. We also decided to cash in on Heriberto Gerardo. He is off to 1FC Cologne for £18 million. He's now got a value of 47. That's just what it is when you're playing in a lower reputation league. He was okay for us over the 2 seasons. 7.14 last season was decent. 6.85 season for that. A little bit of a letdown, but hopefully in Germany he can become a superstar. And then we've got a few players which we have sold for some middle of the range money, raising up to £30 million overall. Lucas Nubi is number 1 for 4.5 mil. Andre Bowman leaves the club just a season after joining to Cadiz for 2.7. Luka Bedovic goes off to AEK Athens again for 2.7 million after being a great free agent signing. Raduljevic leaves to Palermo for £1.1 million, meaning an 100k profit. And Noah Maltine Kinsonia leaves the club to head to Rondas FC again for £1.1 million. A wonder kid through the academy, a little bit of profit. But overall, it gave us a nice bit of a transfer kitty to go and spend money. We already had 44 million before adding the 30, so we had lots of money to spend. We spent 41 million pounds overall, so a 10 million positive in terms of money spent. And number 1 signing was Maxime Decker from AZ Alkmaar. This guy is one of the best left-footed wonder kids on the game. Great consistency, great in big matches, great concentration, speed, and defensive attributes as well. As is Caleb Wiley. This guy is a very attacking young left back, 22 years of age, signed from Atlanta United, where he played 176 games. So despite his young age, very experienced. 7 caps for the American national team now as well. Great speed. And I mean, like he gave up straight away. He's basically a left winger. For us, a decent left back. He doesn't need to be great at defending, but he can do that as well as go forward and cross lots of balls in. So he is going to be brilliant. Iñaki Peña comes in from Barcelona to be our starting goalkeeper. £8.5 million as he was up on the transfer list. Great consistency, loves big matches, and was their backup last season, ended up playing 7 games. Considering just 2 goals, played enough minutes to crop up on the Moneyball search, a 7.26 average rating. A bit of a no-brainer because he is a goalkeeper that can lead us to Champions League glory. Our first regen signing of the save is Thomas Rios, a 19-year-old from Talleres, but again, has played 94 games. An incredibly brave, great balance, and great natural fitness. Is a bit more of a playmaker in the DM role. Last season, a 7.15 with 6 assists. I'm hoping he can bring that playmaking ability here to Standard Liege. And finally, it's Felipe Maya, signed from Aruca with great dribbling, crossing, and speed. Signed for just £5 million after having 2 very good seasons over in Portugal. An absolute bargain. He's already got a value of 21 million. And again, the team is now looking incredibly strong. Peña, Silanyov, Herrera Rocha, Brown, Caleb Wiley, Cisse, Rios, Raksaki, Bazdar, Felipe Maya, and Eric Botheim up front. With Nakembo and Temo still here, it wouldn't surprise me if the game did this at some point. It just loves to pick in Kemo and Temo, and he performs very well every single time. Bazdar will go up front, Maya on the left, Raksaki on the right, Durka, Jacobs, Hukade, Decker, Ozquez, Conde, Pepper, Sanak, Botheim, De La Cruz, and Nico Gilson here as the backups as well. Of course, as well as all these Wonder Kids that are just playing under 18 and V's football. This is the best way to develop your Wonder Kids. Get them into the first time so they are playing with the big boy players. So I have all of them coming up here and playing with the superstars and playing in our actual training facilities, but make them available to the under 18s and the reserve teams so that they can actually go out and get some game time. I think someone like Bigger Kalenga, if we can click on last season, played 45 games and got 3 assists down in the second tier in the under 18s. So was training here with the first team, still played 45 games, is progressing very well. It's the best way to develop your Wonder Kids through your squad. A nice little tip from Kempi there. You can tell we're not being stupid. £28 million in the transfer bank and 385k in wage budget, but we don't want a repeat of what happened for season number 1 and having no money. So we are building up a pool of money up to £83 million. We have made them a financial superpower here in Belgium. Let's get into season 5 and please, let's get out the league phase. I just want to say as well a massive thank you to the legends on the screen right now who are the Patreon members that help support this channel in every single way possible. It costs £5 a month and you get yourself these rebuild files. If you want to pick up from the Standard Liege save at any point, you can let me know. I can send you the file and you can pick up your brand new FM24 save to get you going through the summer before the big one, FM25. If you do want to do that, £5 a month, link is down in the description. It helps me out so much. If you want to support in that way, I'll be absolutely blessed. And obviously, you get your name run down the screen on videos as well. A massive thank you. Well, we're back in the Crocky Cup final, but we're going to lose it to Genk. Again. Obviously, we still won the league, which is fantastic. And Genk are all the way down in 5th place. It's just so annoying. Like, go away. Leave us to do the domestic double for just once. We've done it in the first season when I didn't get to rebuild the squad. It wasn't my team. Now I'm in charge. I've got my players in. I can't do a domestic double because Genk keep winning that poxy Crocky Cup. And I want it to come to standard here with the Juniper Pro League. Now, I know I'm shouting for no reason. We've won the Pro League. It's fantastic. I just want to do the domestic double once at some point in this rebuild. Again, Samed Bazdar, 20 goals. Fantastic. Archie Brown, a 7.27 in average rating. Iñaki Peña, 18 assists, which is beautiful. In terms of stats, we are dominating the league. 85 goals scored, conceded just 1 more than Anderlecht. And in terms of possession as well, 57%. If you've watched these videos, you know I don't keep a lot of possession ever at all, really. This season, we were actually quite good at it. In terms of goals, they're all coming from Samed Bazdar. Off the bench, Eric Botheim's been brilliant. Raksaki, 16 and 10, is becoming a superstar. And again, Noah Makemo and Tembo, 11 and 7 and a 7.18 with these stats. I don't get it. I don't get how he performs so good in the match engine every single season. Archie Brown, 9 goals and 9 assists from centre-back is wild and absolutely no value as well. So obviously isn't thought of that highly. That's fine by me. I'll be keeping it around. Felipe Maya, 8 and 7. Caleb Wiley, 9 assists and 5 goals. Absolutely brilliant. A cracking value on him as well. Thomas Rios, our Wonder Kid signing from Argentina, a 7.10. In DM on this game is incredibly hard to achieve. 5 assists and 4 goals. A great value on him. Maxim Deppel, when he played, was brilliant as well. 13 assists from Alexander Shazanyov, who has been a brilliant signing at right back as well. He cost us just 3.6 million and now back-to-back seasons of a 7.18. Top right back. Alexander, hats off. You're an absolute legend at right back, mate. An absolute king. Lucas De La Cruz is coming through very well. YESSSSS, another great signing, which is now just still a superstar here at the club. And overall, very, very happy with how the team performed. But it's time, the big one, the Champions League knockout playoffs. Yes, we got through the league phase, ladies and gentlemen. And I tell you what, we were, 5 goals or just a singular point away from the top 8. We have finally got there. We have built the squad to get us into the Champions League, actual conversation of being a good team, which is absolutely lovely. 5 wins and they were up against some good teams. Villarreal, Besiktas, Fiorentina, Borussia Dortmund and Astana, all unbeaten. A draw against Newcastle, who were finished out in 20th, a bit disappointing. And 2 losses. Manchester City beat us 6-0, which is, you know, a bit annoying, a bit of a demolition. So if they could beat us 1-0, we'll be in the top 8. And Rennes, who we lost 4-2 to, again, maybe just draw against Rennes, who come down in 16th. Fantastic. But it's okay. We're in the knockout playoff round, and it's Fiorentina down in 22nd, who were in our place. And of course, because we were the better team, we were away from home in the first leg. What it doesn't tell you is that's quite difficult to come back from. Parisi scores in 51 minutes, and we go 1-0 down. This Fabiano Parisi is quite a good left back. He makes it 2-0. So we had it all to do at home. So we gave away a penalty in 13 minutes. It's not gone well, this Champions League malarkey, has it? I don't think it's for us. But home gets us a goal back. It's only 3-1 before it goes to 4-1. Carrera Rocha finds Sesse. Carrera Rocha, I don't know what he's doing. We're out. We've lost 4-1 and Fran Beltran scored. The Champions League isn't for standard. You could even say we're not up to standard in terms of this screen. Again, we've won the league. We've come runners up in the cup. We've won the Super Cup, but it's disappointing. This frustrates me a hell of a lot because in the round of 16, Fiorentina 6-2 against Real Madrid. I think we'd given them a good game, and they won it as well. I think we could have won this. Maybe. Real Madrid, same points as us. We could have won the Champions League. So that's not really how it works, but that's how we're going to imagine it works. But it does mean we're actually getting quite close, and the boards consistently give us lots of money. And like I said, I always get to a point in these rebuilds where I think, let's go for it. And season 6 is that time. So I refused to sell any big names and just sold Nico Gilson for £10.5 million to Juventus to raise us some more funds. A fantastic sale, wonder kid that's never going to progress into a superstar here and can go over and do it at Juventus, and if he does, of course, there's a 50% sell-on. And the only real player worth mentioning is Eric Botheim. He's been a great backup to us, was an absolute bargain of a 3.7, 2 seasons above a 7, sold for 2.4 due to his age, a great deal. But it's now time to make that next step. So bringing in another fantastic DM, also from Argentina, in Federico Redondo, is exactly what I've done for £6 million. And then gone to Argentina again and found a superstar striker in Ignacio Gararaza. 16 finishing, 14 composure, and decent speed. 5'9", consistent. That screams goal scorer. And if it doesn't, well, how does Fredrik Karlsson sound? A 6'2" striker who gives us a completely different way of playing when we need it. Still great finishing, still great composure. Not the quickest, but a big guy to get the ball in the box to when we need goals. A great rotational right back and left back in Daniel Hajdu has come in from TSC in Serbia for just £1 million. And finally, a free agent signing, a 24-year-old Greek centre-back / centre defence midfielder in Kostas Kyriakoulis, who is consistent, loves big matches, and comes here to standard to add some rotational options. That is it in terms of signings. That is all I've made. But what I haven't told you is we have progressed so well as a squad. In terms of the wonder kids, we are looking very good. Iñaki Peña, Barcelona standard goalkeeper. Hajdu, Decker, Brown, and Wiley is a solid defence with Redondo and Rios in DM with a ball played ability and aggressive. Raksaki, Felipe Maya, Bazdar, and Galazada with Nakembo and Tamo still here. Vignali, Carlson, Robert Back, Kyriakoulis, Sesse, Ozquez, Carrera Rocha, Husade, Sijnadov, and Durka. I think we have built a very strong side. And again, when looking at this age profile, it's just exciting. A 29-year-old goalkeeper, a 26-year-old centre-back, a 25-year-old DM, and a 25-year-old winger. The rest 23 and under. And we have to have them players in to keep us with some experience. I think we are close. Maybe not this season, maybe quarterfinals, semi-finals this season, but I think we are building a team which is good enough to do it all. So let's get in to season 6. Right, first of all, it's time to get our hands finally back on the Crocky Cup for the first time since season 1. We're gonna be an absolute menace this season. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A great goal there at the back stick from Archie Brown, and then Rios scores a screamer. That's 2 in 9 minutes. Redondo then finds Raksaki to find Hajdu down the right-hand side. He drives into the box and scores to make it 3-0. And then we wait all the way until the 68th minute. And they're going to score an own goal. And I think in this game, it really shows you how much of a class above we are in the Belgium League. And I say that because this season we finished 27 points above second place KRC Genk. 27 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss against Club Bruges, who finished down in 5th. 83 points from 30 games. Now, when doing this, I looked at the history, I looked at the records, and sadly, the most points won in a season was 84 by Club Brugge. We were 1 point away from getting that record in the first 30 games, which was Club Brugge. So, hats off to Club Brugge. They beat us. They kept their record, which is so frustrating because that would have been fantastic. But a literally outrageous season. We've proven we are Belgian domination. And when we go into the championship group as well, another 10 games, another 5 wins, another no draws and a loss. Well, actually, hang on a minute. Another 8 wins. So was that 8 wins, 1 draw? Maths isn't drawing. What 8 wins, 1 draw and 1 loss against the rest of the top 6. 67 points. Fantastic. Most goals scored on 108, whole host clear of Genk, and just 27 conceded, even keeping 56% possession of the ball. A superstar season. Please, let's just get out of the league phase. Well, it certainly wasn't as easy as last season. 8 games, 3 wins against Chelsea, Sevilla and Young Boys, a draw against Lyon, and 4 losses against Inter, Arsenal, Stuttgart and United. I thought we were on to something. And well, we weren't exactly given an easy tie in the knockout playoff round either, facing up against Chelsea. Luckily, we had a very good team, and Redondo found a great ball on the top to Maya to stick it home to make it 1-0. Before Redondo found Brown on the left-hand side, he found Maya, who found Grazaria to make it 2-0 to Liege in the first half. It is going to go to 2-1 as we try to put it from the back. It doesn't quite work. Caicedo finds Bob, who finds Florian Wirtz. We have to go back to Stamford Bridge. Well, this was going to be a game of the ages. Sterling on the left-hand side cuts inside and scores. 6 seasons in, he's still going. And they're actually going to make it 2-0, so they are leading this tie by 1 goal as Sterling drives to the box, finds Nkunku and makes it 2-0 Chelsea. And as mentioned, they're ahead by 1 goal. Fofana at the back is going to just dilly down on the ball, and Galazard is going to get in there, poach it and finish. I told you to be an absolute finisher. That's exactly what he was, and that gave us the confidence in the second half to take control of this game. Thomas Rios finds Maxim Decker and he scores to make it 2 to Liege, and we're back ahead by 1 goal. And we're going to have a great goal here, building up from the back, sort of a massive lump over the top, and Galazard's there to make it 3. An absolute victory. Chelsea do score in the 90th minute to get the game down to a 1 goal back, thanks to a goal from Mykhailo Mudryk. But that was that. We're through to the round of 16. We faced up against PSG. Yeah, I mean, I thought Chelsea was going to be hard. I also thought PSG was going to be hard. Samed Bazdal scores in 18 minutes past the goalkeeper to make it 1-0. And we skip all the way to the 88th minute, where Bazdal makes it 2 with a deflection of Agate. Keeper just doesn't read it, and it's 2. Sadly, 94th minute, PSG get 1 back away from home through to Kylian Mbappe. And I mean, you can see here from the stats as well, when you actually compare us to PSG on the night, same possession by 1%. We had 1 more shot, we had more on target, we had more XG. We have actually outperformed one of the best teams in the world. And we'd have to do it again if we were going to win. I don't know what they're doing at the back, but we end up scoring and we are 2 goals ahead. Dembele finds Decker, dilly down in the back, and Vitinha scores. And then what I could only be described as the wildest moment I've ever seen. This will be replayed. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Yes. Gianluigi Donnarumma has scored, not with his head, with his right foot, to get PSG level. And we go to extra time. Donnarumma, fair enough. What a goal. We are hopefully going to get a goal back, and it's Carlson on the right-hand side who gets tackled by Mendes. It does drop to Gallarza in the box, and he scores past the goal scorer. I can't believe it. 94th minute to take PSG through to extra time. Mental. Fabio Vieira ends up blasting it, and it hits against Asensio, and we're level. And it goes to penalties. Hopefully, it doesn't come down to the goalkeeper's taking, because I know my money is on Donnarumma scoring. It's currently 1 apiece, and Sesse makes it 2-1 before Fabio Vieira makes it 2-2 in for the top bins. Carlson steps up, and Donnarumma saves. Is he going to be the hero of the night? Asensio scored in the 108th minute and scores there. Koulakidis scores for us. Zaire-Emery has to miss, and he does because of an Inaki Pena save. Bertrand has to score with his fantastic mohawk, and he does. And sadly, because of the bug with showing penalties, it doesn't show you Hakimi missed his penalty as well. And we go for penalties against PSG. I still can't believe Donnarumma scored in the 94th minute. And again, just to mention, before anyone claims we're doing save scumming, because I've said it a few times in the comments recently, because these rebuilds are fantastic. Level on shots, level on target, we were better on XG. So have that. We got done out of that game by Donnarumma scoring in the 94th minute of his right boot. No idea how, but we move on to the quarterfinals. I mean, I feel like I've been through enough already through this rebuild not to have Barcelona knock us out. Well, Noah Darvic scores an absolute screamer to make it 1-0, but we've got our own wonder kid in central attack midfielder. His name is Noah Makembo in Tamo, and he makes it 1-1 away at the Nou Camp. And we take things back to Belgium, and we got off to a fantastic start as 1 minute and 4 seconds in, Carlson heads in at the back stick before just 2 minutes later, we go 2-0 up thanks to Brown, firing the ball licks, and Galazada is there to make it 2-0. And that was that for the rest of the game. 90 minutes of not a lot. And again, in terms of the stats, absolutely even. Better on possession, same XG, same shots. We are through 3-1. We head into the semis, where finally we may have met our match. It's Manchester City, and you can't make defensive mistakes like that against them. They've replaced Haaland with Evan Ferguson. He fires a great ball through there to Julian Alvarez to make it 1-0. Makembo and Tamer has other ideas, and Caleb Wiley is there at the back stick to make things 1-1 in this one. 17 minutes on the clock, already 1-1. Well, here's 2-1 to Manchester City as it drops to Gvardiol from a tackle on Echeverry. He makes it 2-1. And City are going to go 3-1 up. Bernardo Silva finds Evan Ferguson. The guy's a joke. It's 3-1. It's not fair. Luckily, in the 62nd minute, we do get another goal back to finish this game off at 3-2. A great finish from Shadu at the edge of the box. So 1 goal down, everything to do. A great header from Correa Rocha makes it 1-0. And we take things to extra time when the thrower Hajdu actually ends up scoring the goal to make it 2-0, and we beat Manchester City, but there was nearly more drama. The 121st minute, a penalty to Jeremy Doku. He steps up. Does he score? No, he doesn't, obviously. Iñaki Peña is there. The FM gods nearly shafted us yet again in this one. In this Champions League run for the ages, same shots. XG, they were better on by 0.3. Considering the other penalty, I'll certainly take that. And the same possession again. We have done it up against some of the best ties in the world. Chelsea, PSG, Barcelona, Manchester City in the semis, Real Madrid in the final. If we do this, what a season. And when I tell you what, we've been given a helping hand because Valverde decided to try and break Wiley's legs in just 28 minutes. And of course, that gave us the advantage in this game, not only in terms of players, but in terms of spirit as well. And the ball drops to Brown in the box, who makes it 1-0. 5 minutes later, Real Madrid have a goal for themselves. Endrick finds Enzo in the middle to make it 1-1. And Real Madrid actually end up going 2-1 ahead. Rodrigo whips it in. It's headed clear. Militao finds Suarez to find Endrick. And it's 2-1 Madrid. But Standard Liege. Hurchade from the academy. A great ball to Stojaniov. And Bazdar is there for 2-2. And it's going to go all the way to penalties again. Endrick steps up and scores. Ganazaria steps up into the top bins and scores. Militao scores. It's 2-1. Bazdar 2-2 past Thibaut Courtois. Vinicius Jr. 3-2. It doesn't look like they're going to miss. And they've got some big old names. Maya nearly skies it, but gets it in the top bins. Anthony Gordon, I think, just scores for Real Madrid. Rios scores for us. Asornes, cheeky chip down the middle, misses. The audacity to try that. And our final penalty is scored by Redondo. And we beat Real Madrid 5-4 on penalties. And I will admit, we have got very lucky in this one. Sent off Valverde in 28 minutes. It's a gift from the heavens, and we take it. Standard Liege are Champions League winners in Season 6. 18 shots of their 10, a better XG. Worse possession, which is surprising given we had 11 men rather than their 10. But overall, a fantastic Champions League run. And I don't think you can question how well we have performed in every single game as well. And as we actually look through the entire schedule of this season, we were just simply ridiculous. As mentioned, 27 wins in the league. We lost to United in the league phased here, a few losses in the Champions League. Crocky Cup, we smashed Nokke 5-0. A ridiculous run here from November all the way to the middle of January. We lost to Inter Milan, and then went on another ridiculous run where we lost to PSG on penalty. Well, lost in the game, but won on penalties. It goes to losing to Manchester City and then to Genk, and after that we won. A simply fantastic season, a fantastic team we have built. 34 goals for Samed Bazdar and 4 assists. This guy is just a natural goal scorer. Same as Noah Makemba with Tamo. They both just score goals. They're both just great in the match engine, but their stats don't look that good. 19 goals and 13 assists. Simply fantastic from Noah. An outrageous signing. Jerson Rexaki for 5 million was great. Archie Brown, 14-11. Simply fantastic. Felipe Maya, 13 and 9. Ignacio Garraza, 11 and 2. 10 assists for Sojanov, and 19 from Redondo in DM. This might be my best rebuild ever. It's my best Moneyball rebuild to date because it's only taken me 6 seasons. And of course, if you want to pick this up over on Patreon, the link is down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll speak to you next time.